Hi, and welcome to the weekly general reading for Monday, September 23rd, 2019. Now, it does not have to be Monday, September 23rd, 2019 in order for you to get something out of this reading. It is timeless. So that means just whenever you see this reading, no matter when it is, this will be for the next 7 days. Okay, so we're looking at the next week. And what we're looking for is what the general energy is going to be, what are some themes that'll come up, different dynamics, and hopefully make some predictions, okay? So this is a general reading. So on Fridays I post my love readings. So if there is anything that has to do with love that comes up, it's just an added bonus. We're just looking at general energy, okay? Alright, so that said, let's go ahead and name the piles. Pile number 1 is the blue butterfly. Pile number 2 is a red butterfly. Pile number 3 is a pink butterfly. Pile number 4 is a purple butterfly. Pile number 5 is the white butterfly. And pile number 6 is the green butterfly. So while you guys are making your choice, I just wanted to go ahead and say everything you need to know about me is in that description. Okay, and you know, you can order a reading with me or send me an email. And there are ways that you can donate. I know that a lot of people, you know, they send me messages asking, you know, I don't really want a reading, but I do want to donate to the channel. Everything that is donated to the channel goes back to the channel, just so you guys know. But enough about that kind of stuff. Don't want to waste your time. If you've picked, we're about to go ahead and start. If you have not picked yet, go ahead and pause the video so you can pick the one that you want to go with, all right? Otherwise, we're going to start with number 1, the blue pile, okay? Right, so I hope you guys are having a really good fall equinox for those of you in the northern hemisphere. For those of you in the south, a nice spring equinox. All right. Okay, so this is a reading for pile number 1, the blue butterfly. We have the World, Temperance, and the 7 of Pentacles. Okay, we also have the Rider, okay, and that's supported by the Bouquet. The color white, okay, so we have Divinity and Enlightenment is the theme for that one. And then I decided to pick a spirit animal card, and we've got the Rhino Spirit, which is about overcoming obstacles. Yeah. and here's why I say, yeah, that's this is a good wrap-up card. Like this is what the whole reading's about, basically, is overcoming obstacles. Because you have the World here coming up first. First off, you have 2 major arcana cards, okay? So let me just restart. You have 2 major arcana cards, so that lets me know that this week's going to be a big week for you guys. And by that, I just mean it's not going to be just the run-of-the-mill daily grind kind of thing. There's going to be something, you know, kind of big that happens, and it's going to be positive, you know. It's going to be balanced because we have the Temperance with just, you know, it's like the Goldilocks card. It's the just right card. It's not too hard, not too soft, and all of that good stuff, right? But we have the World. The World is all about, you know, finally, like, culmination, getting what you have set out to get, okay? Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be, like, the thing, right? But it's like this week you're going to get what you're trying to achieve, okay? This is probably going to be more in the material world, something having to do with finances, something having to do with, you know, a physical, maybe manifestation of something that you've been wanting recently or working towards, that kind of thing. But the 7 of Pentacles, when it comes up, it's just about pausing and making sure that you are taking stock of what's going on around you in the physical world here. Because here's what's going on. When we've got the color white, which is associated with divinity in this particular deck, and that's letting me know that all of the divine timing and all of that kind of stuff is going to already be laid out for you. It's like you're not going to have to really, quote unquote, try on the spiritual level to get what you need. There's not like an energy that you need to get into because you're already there. So right now the focus is on the physical material, the world. And we have this overcoming obstacles, okay? I feel like this is really just saying that don't worry if it seems like something isn't going to work out. Don't worry about it because things will clear its way. You'll have a path, okay? You'll have a path to move forward, see? And you're pretty much promised something beautiful, okay? The bouquet can show a gift, something that you've gained. And it can also represent beauty, you know, things that just go together nicely, something that's smooth, you know, that kind of thing, you know, a smooth transition, that, you know, it could be a gift of flowers. It could literally be that. But I feel like this is more looking at all the rest of the cards that we're talking about, you know, you're moving forward, you're getting some things done, you're achieving what you're setting out to do, and it just feels very smooth, you know? If you have any, like, the only thing that's showing me that there could be something a little bit difficult about this week is just that you're kind of like pausing and like making sure you've got all the resources. But I don't feel like that's going to be a big problem, you know? And again, you know, there is a reference to obstacles, but it's like, they're illusions. Whatever thing appears to be in your way is either illusion or it's something that's going to move out of your way in order for you to achieve what you're setting out to achieve. And I'd even go as far as to say, whenever you watch this video, whatever it is you're trying to achieve is going to probably happen earlier in the week than later. And for the rest of the week, it's going to just be kind of like reaping the rewards of that. So, I mean, it looks all positive. Very, very good. I like it when I get readings like this for the weekly readings because it makes me feel so good that some of my viewers are going to have such a good week. All right, on to pile number, oh no, I don't know which order they went in. Okay, I'm going to say that the red one's pile number 2. So, all right, guys, on with pile number 2, the red butterfly. For you guys, we have the Lovers. Look at that. We also have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so this lets me know that right now your focus is going to be on love. So a lot of this reading is going to be about love or about relationships, partnership, you know, and you see the angel in the background, you know, there's this kind of divinity that has to do with this, you know, but you know, and this could just be indicating something as simple as, you know, maybe there's an anniversary or maybe, you know, maybe there's, you know, somebody who you're going to see that was like maybe an ex, or it could be something like this is it. This is a big deal here. One thing that it does show is that there might be a little bit of defensiveness. Okay, yeah, a decision's gonna have to be made. We do have the snake here. We've got blue that's talking about communication and inner truth, and we have the seahorse spirit, which is about watching and waiting. Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal. So you've got, the first thing I want to point out is that you have 2 major arcana cards. What that tells me is that this is going to be a pretty big week for you, okay? That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be huge, like I'm not saying you're going to win the lottery. I'm just going to say it's not going to be like the daily grind. I do have to say the previous reading was just like this. It had 2 major arcana cards. But what this tells me is that you're going to be dealing a lot with how you relate to other people. And love is going to be on your mind, okay? It's going to be something you're thinking about a lot, or it's going to be something that is happening a lot in your life, okay? With the Wheel of Fortune, this is a lot. You know, we've got the Watch and Wait, and we've got the Wheel of Fortune. They're both letting us know that there's this kind of element of fate. Some people can call it divine guidance, you know, that kind of thing. But there's some element of fate that has to do with this situation. So it's important to keep in mind that in this particular situation, you've got, like, everything's covered for you, okay? So if you come to a standstill, in, for example, your romantic life, right? And there's, like, not really anything you can do. What this is telling you is just wait for a minute, you know, wait for a little while, because the divine timing is working for you, okay? Things are going to turn out just fine, okay? Some people call this a destiny card, okay? One thing you might notice, as you relate to somebody else, you or your person, for most of you it's going to be your person, might get defensive. Now, again, I'm saying might because I really don't feel like this is going to be true for most of you guys. I think this is just coming up for the few of you who it is going to be true for. And what this is telling me is, look, you've got the Lovers and the Wheel of Fortune. These are the big cards. These are the cards that matter, okay? They're the big major arcana cards, right? And then you've got this minor arcana card. You know, and I feel like it has to do with somebody feeling a little defensive. Don't worry about it, okay? Just watch it and wait. Just take, you know, if you find yourself in a situation with your person or with you know, somebody who is in your life right now, that you care about, okay? Because this could be a family member. Just take a deep breath and just try to count to 10 or 20 before you respond to that. And that's what you've got to keep in mind as your goal. Don't react, respond, okay? And then we've got blue. So we do have the communication, okay? In this particular deck, blue is associated with, obviously, the throat chakra, for those of you who are aware of that system, okay? The throat chakra has to do with communication. It also has to do with truth, okay? So it's not just, you know, we've got the communication that comes out, okay? But we also have the inward truth that we also know to be true, okay? So for some of you, communication, talking clearly, okay? Speaking the truth is going to be really important to you this week. And for others, it's going to be more like trusting yourself, trusting that you're receiving the messages that you're supposed to be receiving. And those of you who've been working on hearing that voice, it doesn't have to be a literal hearing, though. It could just be that you want to receive maybe messages, you know, maybe in your dreams, or maybe you're doing some automatic writing, or you're on a spiritual path right now and you want to learn how to, for example, listen to God, or however you might want to put it. For those of you, it's going to be about that internal truth, okay? So let's talk about this. This is an interesting aspect of this, and it kind of gives nuance to what the rest of this is saying, okay? Because we also have the paths, okay? So we're talking about choices, options, okay? And then we have the snake. This is kind of like a danger, okay? There could be a danger. In some cases, this might indicate another person involved in a romantic relationship. The snake is often used as the other woman, for example. So I do want to mention that. I'm not getting that that's what this is, though. So even if you are in a situation where the person who you have feelings for is, you know, maybe there with somebody, or you're with somebody, I don't feel like it's that. I feel like it's something else. I feel like this is just that you've got to make some choices this week, and just be cautious. You know, I just feel like it's more like be cautious about it, watch and wait. You know, speak the truth, communicate clearly, you know, and I feel like that's more the message. And if I'm not, I don't think that I'm mistaking this, but I think that maybe 2 weeks ago we got this same combination for another pile. If you happen to be in the group that picked that one, and then you're getting this one this time, it's just letting you know more about, you know, be aware of the risks that you're taking in making the different decisions that you're going to make, okay? For those of you, maybe your person's going to act defensive. You're going to want to kind of lash out. And, you know, just, you know, again, like what this is saying, watch and wait. Just make sure you take a deep breath. Focus on communication. Focus on talking about you know, communicating the truth, and maybe avoid that risk by choosing to respond rather than react, okay? Overall, though, I mean, really, because I don't want to make this be, like, the only focus here. Overall, we've got the Lovers and the Wheel of Fortune, so you're right where you're supposed to be right now, okay? And it looks like your focus is really going to be a lot on relationships, okay? Love, fire, even with this here, and communication and truth, okay? So that, I mean, it looks really positive here. Just be aware that, you know, you are going to get some choices, you are going to have some options, and you want to make sure that you're making the best choice, the healthiest choice is what they're telling me to say, the healthiest choice for you in that situation. All right, guys? Okay. For those of you who wondered, that was my bell. I didn't want you guys to be like, what was that? Okay, pile number 3, those of you who picked the pink butterfly, here's your cards. Okay, so we've got Death. That's a really important card this week for you guys, because there is going to be some kind of either transition, like you're transitioning from one thing to the next, or there's going to be some kind of change, okay? We've got the King of Wands, and we have the Six of Wands that's kind of like supporting this. So the area where you're going to be experiencing some change has to do with your energy levels, has to do with your passion, what you go out and do, okay? It might have something to do with sexuality. It might have something to do with love, because even though the cups are more associated with that, when we can get passionate about something, that can have to do with love. But I feel like it's more about creativity. You are going to be successful, and you're going to feel like you're in control. So it's really important to keep that in mind, given that if you've got this change coming over you, okay, like something ends and the next part's going to begin, you know, you are feeling in control of it, okay? So usually when we experience change, we feel really chaotic, like we don't know how to adapt, you know, because we have to adapt, right? But I feel like you guys are going to be fine with that. And here's probably why. You're going to be experiencing a lot of support. You're going to feel guided. Right now, this particular deck is focused around a certain kind of belief system. So it's talking about angels. That doesn't mean that it has to, you know, it has to be angels if you're not a person who connects with that idea. It could be your higher self. It could be the universe, God, you know, spirit. It could just use what you, it could even be a Passover loved one, okay, especially with the death, you know, referencing that too. And then we have the dog spirit. Be loyal to what you love. Yeah, when you've got these this wand energy and being loyal to what you love, yeah, that's letting me know that, yeah, this has to do with something that is a creative pursuit. It's about sticking to your passions, that kind of thing, okay? And then we have the ship, and we have the mice, okay? This is the area here that could be negative, okay, if anything. It's taking a long time. Maybe it has taken a long time, or maybe you're about to start something that you know is going to take a while to achieve, okay? But just know that it seems like it's going to take a longer time than it actually will, because the mice take away from something. And when you've got the ship, which in this particular spread is representing a long time, the mice, you know, this is just to reassure you that you think it, like, for example, you think it's going to take 3 months, but it's really going to take 2, because the mice take away a month from that, okay? I'm just pretending. I'm not saying that that's true for you guys. This is just kind of like letting you know, oh, and by the way, just so you know, what you're doing this week, you know, it's not going to extend out as long as you think it will, okay? So if you think it's going to take 5 years, maybe it'll take 4.5, you know, that kind of thing. If you think it's going to take a few weeks, maybe it'll take maybe a few days. You know, it's something like that going on here. I also feel like it's important to say that this, for some of you, also represents that you're going to be recognized on an international level for whatever creative pursuit you're doing, and you know that. So this is just confirming that whatever it is that you're taking on is going to reach that far out, okay? All right, guys. So generally, there's going to be some changes, but you feel in control of them. So I feel like you already know what the changes are going to be, and you're like, oh yeah, I know that. And you're gonna, but you're gonna feel like things are going very, very smoothly. Again, you know, it's like you're in your element. Okay, so you're fine. This is gonna be a good week for you guys. Alrighty. Okay, hi. Those of you who picked the purple butterfly, here is your reading. Okay, we have the 9 of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the 7 of Swords. Okay, we have the birds and the heart. Okay, so the heart's the main card. The birds represent, the birds represent the supporting card for that. We've got the dragonfly, transformation, magic, and illusion. I think that illusion is the important word to think about here. And then we've got the horse, spirit, freedom is yours. Okay, here's something that I'm finding that's really interesting here. We've got the birds. Okay, the birds can indicate anxiety. Okay, because you know how birds just kind of flit around and go from place to place, and it's like they can't settle down, you know, it's like they've got to be moving. Sometimes the birds can represent anxiety. Usually the 9 of Swords represents anxiety. You can't sleep, you know, you're having nightmares, things are keeping you up at night, you've got this long list of things to do, and you don't know how you're going to make it happen. Maybe you're worried because you're dreading something that's going to happen, that kind of thing. But here's the deal. You've got a little bit more control than you think. You know, we've got the Page of Wands. We've got a little bit more control than you think. And I feel like this represents you, not that this represents something that's going to happen to you. Because here we have this guy who's snuck into the enemy camp, and he's so excited because he's found their weapons, and he's going to steal their weapons, because it's like he's going to kind of try to stack the cards in his favor, right? I feel like you're going to have an opportunity to get ahead this week, because you're going to basically be able to find out maybe somebody's secrets, or find out some new information, or you're going to have some new resources, okay? And that's going to transform the situation. Okay, we've got transformation, we've got magic. What does magic mean? It's an interesting concept when I get magic come up in a reading. What I think about when I think about magic is I think about manifesting, I think about prayer, I think about miracles, I think about when things just happen the way that we want them to, a wish fulfilled, that kind of thing. And then we do have illusion. I feel like the illusion is coming back to the 9 of Swords. I call it the nightmare card. This is an illusion. This is not what the actuality is. This is you feeling nervous about something. Now, in our lives, we all experience anxiety at one point and another, and some of us experience anxiety on a clinical level, okay? Don't want to be dismissive of that. But whatever anxiety that you're experiencing, you know, with this, okay, there's something bigger that's going to take charge of that, okay? Because you have more freedom than you think. You're not stuck. You're not confined by the situation. And, you know, we've got, the focus card is love here with the Lenormand. So it's like, this is really interesting, because it doesn't seem, at least on first glance, to have anything to do with the rest of the reading. It's like love, okay? So you might have some anxiety about love, okay? Maybe you're starting to fall in love, and that's causing you to feel anxious, okay? But what I really feel it is just that you're gonna have some anxiety. And somebody who really, really cares about you is going to help give you some support, okay? And if you are having anxiety about a love situation, with the freedom coming up and the transformation and illusion and all of that, I really feel like you might be in a situation where it feels like maybe you can't be as free as you'd like, maybe with your words or with your actions and all of that. It's like, I feel like you're not going to mess this up. I don't feel like this week is going to be the week that you're going to mess this up or anything like that. It's going to stay. So I also feel like this is also a message to let you guys know not to worry about a specific person that's in your life, somebody that you feel a lot of passion for. Maybe it's something that's just kind of starting out, but it's somebody that you feel a lot of passion for. This is a really interesting card to just kind of throw into the mix. I feel like this isn't going to be related to generally the theme of this week for you. I feel like this is going to just be some extra stuff thrown in. Yes, it might be that the person that you have a lot of feelings for throws in, you know, oh, guess what? I have feelings for you, and, you know, and you're feeling good about it, or maybe you find out that they do. It could be that, but I think it's something having to do with something completely different, where you're feeling like you're getting ahead. You're like, oh, okay, now I have the advantage here in this situation. It could have to do with your love life, but I feel like it's something else. Okay, guys? So just be aware that that anxiety is going to be there. It's normal and natural, okay, to have anxiety. Just know that, you know, the nightmare is an illusion. We've got to wake up to the reality of what's actually there. And when we ground ourselves in what's real, then we often find that we are really catastrophizing a situation that's really not that bad. All right? All right, guys. So maybe a little rough, but overall, very positive message. Okay? Hi, those of you who picked the white butterfly, here is your reading. We have the Eight of Cups, we have Strength, and we have the Two of Cups. I like this reading. I'm going to go ahead and just rearrange these cards so the major arcana is over here. Okay? We have, oh, this is interesting. We've got the Moon, and it is supported by clouds. Okay, so we have balance with the hawthorn, and we've got the wombat spirit. Be at home. This is, I'm kind of giggling because when I went to Australia recently, I saw a wombat and I thought it was going to be really, really cute, but I happen to be afraid of bunny rabbits. So we went to this place and I was like so excited. I was like, I had even told Shannon, you know, for my birthday, I want a stuffed animal wombat because like I just had this idea of what they would look like, and I thought they might look like little bears or something. But no, it looked like a giant bunny rabbit to me that was like just, I don't know, like a pig rabbit. And it was just so terrifying to me. And you just have to understand that I'm terrified of bunny rabbits. I don't know why. It looks like they're going to sneeze and they've got really big teeth. And those two things, I guess, just really trigger me or something. I mean, like, I recognize it's irrational, okay? I know that bunnies generally aren't going to hurt me, you know? I don't take any risks around them. But anyway, yeah, the wombat terrified me. I actually started crying. It's kind of embarrassing, but I did. I actually started crying, and my 12-year-old daughter had to be like, hey, we need to get mom out of here. so yeah, so that's why I'm chuckling at saying that. It says be at home. Yeah, I should have stayed at the hotel and did some work instead of going out to that nature place and seeing all of the wild animals of Australia. I apologize to all of you Australians that are like, what did she just do? Okay, so let's get to your reading, okay? Because that's why you're here. We've got the Strength. You know, something that I think that's lovely about the Strength card, especially when you've got two Cups cards that are supporting it, is that we're talking about understanding, okay? This woman and this beast have come to an understanding between the two of them, okay? And so I really feel like that's going to be a key word for you. You and another person in your life, probably a significant other, because this Two of Cups is a major card here, okay? We've got the kind of divinity here, and we have this joining between the masculine and feminine, and it's just it's a very beautiful card. Yeah, I'm recognizing that could be in reference to the equinox, you know, because the equinox means we've got the light side and the dark side, and they're perfectly in balance and all of that. I get that, but I feel like it's more than just the timing of the year right now, okay? I feel like this is going to have to do with love. Now, another thing, this is also probably also saying strong love, okay? Because that feels right to me as well. Or there's something you've got to let go of, or there's something you've got to walk away from that's bringing you down, okay? This, I feel, does not have to do with this relationship, because the way it came up was the Eight of Cups, then Strength, then the Two of Cups. I just wanted to rearrange them because I like to make sure that the most important card is over here. So you guys know, ultimately, the Strength card is gonna trump these two cards. If anything, so there's gonna be an understanding. So given that, you're gonna know what it is that you've got to get away from. It could just be another relationship, or maybe it's moving past one relationship so you can begin in this one. This doesn't necessarily have to be a love relationship. Probably is, but it could be like a partnership between yourself and a new business partner, for example, that kind of thing. But it's like you've got to just kind of, it's almost like you've got to let go of the drama. But I don't feel like it's going to be difficult. I don't feel like it's going to be like, oh, but I'm constantly feeling so you know, because sometimes I get into that place where I'm like, my emotions are just so like, it's like just an angry scribble inside of my heart, and it's like, what is going on? And I don't mean that my emotions are angry. I just mean that they're like keyed up or something, and it's like I can't really get ahead of them. But it's not going to feel like that. It's not going to feel like your feelings are necessarily controlling you. It's going to be more like, okay, I've dealt with this for long enough. I'm going to just say goodbye to this situation. So I don't feel like it's going to be a difficult choice for you to make. And then we've got balance, you know, and I feel like that is what's going to be achieved here, you know. And then again, we've got the balance of the feminine, the masculine, and all of that kind of stuff also echoing in this card. We've got this be at home. Make sure that you're comfortable, okay? Whatever you're doing, make sure that you're comfortable with it. If it feels wrong, then don't do it, okay? That's the message that I'm getting from this, okay? And I know that I mentioned the wombats and the scary bunnies and everything. So if that has meaning for you, then go ahead and go with it. Just because I think that it's important to share everything that comes to my mind when I turn over these cards, because I never know exactly why I'm thinking that, you know, or, you know, why that's coming through. I just feel like it's purposeful. So if you got something out of that story, then go ahead and go with that too. But I really feel like this, you know, being at home, yeah, it might have something to do with introversion. It might have something to do with, like, you know, maybe it's going to be a gloomy, you know, you got the clouds here, you know, maybe it's just going to rain a lot this week and you're going to have to stay inside. You know, it could be that, but I feel like it's more, be comfortable, be at home, be comfortable, with what you're doing this week, because it's like, this stuff, this drama, this unnecessary stuff isn't going to be worth it this week to you, and you're going to know it's going to be easy. You know, sometimes, I know for me, even like recently yesterday, somebody was wrong on the internet, you know, and I got upset, and it was stupid. It was really dumb. But, like, it was really hard for me to walk away from that. Like, you know, I did walk away from it, but I had to say something first, of course. But once I said my piece, I walked away, because I was just like, I'm not gonna sit here and make it worse. But it's like that. You've just got to make sure that you're comfortable with where you are, and if something's, you know, causing you discomfort, it really isn't worth it. It's just gonna stress you out, and nothing's gonna be achieved if you stick in that situation. Okay, so I feel like these two cards are kind of giving you the same general message here. Here's what's interesting. We've got the Knight. Okay, we've got the Moon. Okay, so that does have to do with intuition. It does have to do with maybe a nightly rendezvous. But here's something else. It has to do with being recognized for something too. I feel like all three of these are going to play an important part for you this week at different times. The only unfortunate thing about this is that we've got the clouds. Now, I feel like the clouds here is the same thing that what this Eight of Cups is hinting at, which is just be aware that you've got to be in a positive attitude in order for positive things to happen. You know, sometimes we have a clinical disorder, or, you know, maybe we have some depression, or maybe we have, you know, we're going through some time, something happened, and it's like we're just cloudy in the head and everything, and we can't help it, we just have to go through what we're going to do for the week, and that's okay. It's just acknowledge that and try not to let that affect how you're gonna act, you know? And believe, I really understand, as somebody who has major depressive disorder, although it is treated with medication, that's like almost impossible when you're in the clutches of that, okay? And if you are, just saying, because it's important for me to say this to my viewers, I'm not a doctor. If you're going through something like that, you know, there are resources for you online, probably in your community you have resources, so please, you know, get that checked out with somebody else. But, you know, this could just be like just a little cloudy thinking, you know, in just a kind of bad mood, or something like that. It's just being aware that is going to color your experiences if you keep bringing that with you, okay? I know I said it before, but I just feel like it's really important to repeat it one more time. Some of this you might not be able to help, and that's okay. Okay, you know, just because you're getting away from one aspect of your life that's bringing you some stress doesn't mean you're going to be able to clear out everything, right? So please don't feel like if you do run into some walls and you're like, gosh, I'm a little confused in a situation or whatever, that's okay, you know, it's part of life, you know, we're learning things, and as we go through learning processes, it's not going to be clear every single time. People don't communicate clearly, you know, sometimes, and we're like, wait, what did you say? You know, you're not speaking my language, that kind of thing. So don't worry about that. It's just letting you know that might color your experiences, and that's it, okay? Because really, we've got the strength, the understanding, and the and we've got the Two of Cups. And above all else, know that you've got to choose to be comfortable, okay? So maybe it'll help to be comfortable with any kind of uncertainty, knowing that we all face uncertainty in our lives. I mean, that's what life's about. So understanding that that's just part of the process might help you feel a little bit better in that sense, you know. But I'm not getting anything negative for you guys. You're gonna be fine. It just might be a little bit cloudy there for here and there. Okay. All right, hi, pile number 6, the green pile here is your reading. Okay, so we have the High Priestess. This is letting me know that to begin with, this reading, you've got to apply your own intuition to it in addition to whatever I say. Or if whatever I say doesn't resonate, just look at the cards and figure out what resonates for you based on the cards, okay? Yeah, because I'm not going to be all like, oh, this means something completely different, because that's what this means right now. That's why it came up. This is going to be more your own interpretation, okay? We have the Nine of Cups. Traditionally, this is about wish fulfillment, especially in relationships. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. Sometimes this can be about being left out in the cold. I feel like in this particular situation, intuitively, what I'm getting is that it's like you're passing by an opportunity to get some help that maybe you might feel a little bit too proud to take. Just be aware that you have more resources than you think, okay? Now, we also have obsidian, okay? So we have this obsidian, for me, it like kind of absorbs negative energy, okay? But we've got obsidian grounding, shielding, and void, okay? So what that lets me know is when we talk about a void, we talk about, you know, maybe something that we're not getting, that we think that we deserve, and all of that kind of stuff. That's what this might have to do with, okay? The void can be also about just becoming an empty vessel so that we can receive whatever guidance we're supposed to be getting, okay? Obsidian, I have obsidian, or at least I did, near me. I guess I moved it. I could have, that's weird. I thought that I had a piece of obsidian right here. I guess not. Well, I was going to show you what it looked like, but doesn't look like I have it. But anyway, obsidian, you know, it's basically deep black, and anyway, I'm sorry, this is just bothering me. I'm gonna look for it. Okay, here's one. Yeah, so if you've ever watched my romance videos on Fridays, this is an obsidian heart-shaped rock, or at least it's supposed to be heart-shaped, right? It's really, really deeply black, if you see, right? Really, really black. This is one of my son's favorite rocks. Just wanted to show that to you. I don't know, I just felt like it was important to show that to you. But yeah, it has to do with shielding yourself, you know? So make sure that you are protected against negativity, okay? Make sure that whatever negativity comes your way, that's all about them. That has nothing to do with you. It's all about whoever or whatever it's coming from. It's not about you doing it to yourself or you asking for it or anything like that. Some people are just gonna be jerks, and that's it, you know? Maybe they're going through something. But shield yourself from that, because I feel like, especially if you're feeling really intuitive and sensitive this week, that's going to be something that's important to do, okay? All right, so we have the storks, followed by the tower, and this is the supporting card. So the major card is going to be about storks. Now, there's so many different ways to read the storks, and given that we've got wish fulfillment here, and then being kind of like feeling maybe left out, or we're not getting what we're supposed to be getting, the storks could mean a new beginning, okay, because storks bring babies. It could mean literally having a baby or conceiving. Storks mate for life, okay, so it could have something to do with that. It can also talk about moving from one situation to another because they migrate. Okay, so there's a lot of different meanings for storks. It's a positive card though. In Lenormand, it's a very positive card. And I feel like the most apt meaning is that it's talking about love, it's talking about moving past any kind of problems and all of that kind of stuff. And then we've got the tower, which can represent institutions, okay? It can represent that. So it could represent, for example, a church, a university, a library, any kind of government building like a courthouse or something like that, or a big, you know, corporation like, I don't know, Walmart or Amazon or, you know, like Google or something like, you know, something like that. So we've got that, but for me, the tower almost always represents solitude, or introversion, or being kind of isolated. So I feel like it's like you're moving past feeling isolated, okay? You're moving past feeling like you don't have access to other resources, that kind of thing. Then we've got the Nightingale Spirit. And this is a really great card to kind of end on, and it is the one that I had picked for this particular reading. It's a guidance card. It's a, you know, well, here's what you're supposed to do with all this information. We've got love is all around. We've got you guys are moving towards a more fulfilling experience of love. I feel like this card is backing this up, saying, yeah, you're going to be feeling more love. Maybe in the past you've felt like you didn't have enough, or that you weren't getting enough, or you were putting more into it than you were receiving. And maybe now you felt kind of shielded from that. Maybe you feel like you've been in a lack, but you're going to be feeling so intuitive this week that it's like you're going to see it coming. And excuse me, I apologize. And it's like you're open to receive that. And then we've got the storks here, saying, you know, you're moving past this kind of feeling of isolation. So that's the way that I would interpret it, okay? But again, you guys interpret it the way that it feels right to you. And I'm just going to go ahead and put all the cards out like this so that you can see all of them. And if you would like to go ahead and take the advice that I suggested at the very beginning of this reading, go ahead and pause the video right now, okay? Went ahead and took a drink. Otherwise, you guys, looks like an interesting week there. Positive. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for waiting. I'm sorry, for watching until the very end of this video. I really appreciate it. You know, every single time I see the channel growing, I feel so full in my heart and so excited. I'm so glad that what I put out is stuff that you guys appreciate. Now, there is one thing that's going on with me here, and that is part of my equipment has just kind of run its course. And what I need is to replace my, well, one of my computers. I need to replace it so that I can process video fast enough to be posting content daily and doing my readings. So right now I'm trying to you know, make sure that I'm budgeting for enough money to purchase a new computer that's going to also be a good one that's going to process really fast. So if you guys want to help me out, you know, I don't usually ask for this. This is the very first time I've ever asked for anything like this. If you want to help me out, there is a donation, a monetary donation, in the description. If you would like to help me out, even like $1 would help me, because and that will go towards getting this computer, okay? Because that's, I mean, it's just something I need. Also understand on the Amazon wish list, there are Amazon gift cards. You can put any amount on it. I think the minimum is either $5 or $10. But you could also, the computer I want, I have located it on Amazon, and so I would be purchasing it from Amazon. So just kind of throwing that out there too. Seriously, do not feel pressured though. I know some people are like, you know, you need to do this. It's like, no, please don't feel pressured at all. Just if you'd like to help, go ahead. I would really appreciate it. Otherwise, don't worry about it, okay? I'll figure out a way to do it, you know? I have plenty of resources. We've just got to figure out a way for everything else to run smoothly in our lives, you know, because this is going to affect me and my family, and also affect Shannon and his family. So just know that any donations appreciated, but please don't feel like you have to, because seriously, I do not want to put anybody in that situation, especially guys that you know, I am so thankful to, that I just feel like you guys are doing this for me. You're helping me reach a lot of people that need some guidance. So please just understand that I'm very grateful for just you guys watching. Right, guys? So I will see you next time with my next pick a card reading.